A popular thread on Twitter brought up many questions about singer Miley Cyrus and her potential involvement in cults.
These healers are encouraged to join sacrifices every year and sign contracts stating that they aren't allowed to tell anyone about it.
The cult leader, Gudny Gudnason, believes that he is a descendant of god Thor.
This organization has existed on this planet for thousands of years.
And allegedly this is the reason that Miley's been so MIA.
Miley Cyrus's fans are worried about her. She's been gone for a while, and some believe it's against her will. Miley has been in a tough spot, and a cult has possibly stepped in. She's been spotted with ranking members, and if she's really joined this cult, then Miley is in a dangerous situation. So let's get into it. Now lately, I've been worried about Miley Cyrus, and especially after getting a bunch of emails from you guys claiming that she's in some kind of cult. Now, cults aren't new in Hollywood or across the world, but Miley's being accused of joining an alleged cult called Modern Mystery School to heal past trauma. Now, I'm all about healing trauma. I'm not like an ayahuasca guy. I've never done ayahuasca, and it kind of scares me. But if you need to do what you need to do to feel better, then go and do that. And you know, Miley's been in the spotlight for a long time. Her public image has changed. She's been married and divorced, so she probably does have plenty of trauma. But what's scary is that this trauma mixed with her power, it makes her a vulnerable person and exactly what a cult member would love to have in their group because it gives them as a cult that much more leverage. Some people are connecting this Modern Mystery School to the fact that she's no longer going to be touring, which maybe is a reason because she doesn't want to leave her cult and she's committed to them. She did have a social media break for a while, a couple of months, which is when people believe that she became part of the Modern Mystery School. Doing a quick Google search, this is what comes up. Inside the spirituality cult whose members, okay, hold up. Let's look at their website really quick. Before we judge, you are not perfect the way you are. Oh no, is this the type of place that breaks you down even further and then rebuilds you into like what they want you to become? We are a mystery school that believes that all humans can be empowered to live in peace, joy, fulfillment. Ooh, it sounds nice, doesn't it? It sounds nice on paper, but where do I begin? You've already begun because you're here searching for something. I don't like this approach. It's not giving like, you know, like a university page. It's giving like a little hocus pocus. But let's go ahead and talk about why this is concerning. Now, Miley Cyrus has been linked to this group because this person named Michelle on TikTok, Michelle Talk, said that Miley has been hanging out with members of the Modern Mystery School. Like a normal college would tell you how many people are part of this school, it doesn't seem like they release that information because it's not a real school. So how does someone like Miley Cyrus get wrapped up in this?
These healers are encouraged to join sacrifices every year and sign contracts stating that they aren't allowed to tell anyone about it. These two girls, Lily and Blue, were allegedly healers at the cult school. Encouraged her to join their cult? And allegedly this is the reason that Miley's been so MIA. No performances, no public appearances, no promotion for the album at all. Aside from the Disney Plus special that was back in March. Fans are speculating that Miley's Instagram is being run by an intern. Her first couple of posts about flowers were very loving, very personal, and as the weeks went on they sounded very AI generated, which makes people think that someone is posting on her behalf.
If you guys have seen some of my recent videos, you would know that Miley has been having fallouts with her father, honestly for good reason, and it doesn't seem like she's been that tight to her family, so that could be a red flag that she's being isolated by these people. And you must admit that it's interesting to see that Miley's with some of these healers who are probably so far gone. If this is a cult, they're so far gone in it, it's probably the worst people for her to be tied up with because they know exactly how to manipulate people. Someone wrote on Twitter, has anyone done a thread on Miley Cyrus being in a cult for the past few months? My mind is blown on her possibly being part of Modern Mystery School, and I need to know more. And I have to say, I agree with Melissa. So let's talk a little bit about this school and why it is dangerous.
A popular thread on Twitter brought up many questions about singer Miley Cyrus and her potential involvement in cults. After the theory was debunked, many online have been investigating the Modern Mystery School and its members. According to the site, the school is an, quote, international organization that trains and certifies healing practitioners and teaches in the tradition, the lineage of King Solomon. Now, users online were so shocked to hear about Miley Cyrus potentially being involved with this so-called cult. This all started when someone on Twitter made theories about the singer being involved with healers that was later picked up on TikTok.
Like a lot of other churches and cults out here, a big part of them running this business is getting really rich people involved so that they spend a lot of money. Like pretty much a college tuition, students spend at least $20,000 to reach the school's upper ranks. Some students say they spend hundreds of thousands of dollars. And it's all for a transformational journey that will definitely change your life and that might change the world, which sounds actually kind of accurate. And it doesn't seem like they're even shying away from the idea of being a cult, because they have an article blog post on their website titled "The Truth About Modern Mystery School, Cult or Community of Light Workers." And the fact that they're even bringing up that terminology in their PR shows that they kind of know, they know what it looks like. The school claims that they're not a cult because cults tell their members to isolate themselves from people who they know, and that doesn't happen here. It actually seems like they try to get people who are involved to get their loved ones involved, which actually kind of sounds like a cult at the same time too. What's freaky about this organization is that they work in the tradition of the lineage of King Solomon. Supposedly these healers are encouraged to join sacrifices every year, and they sign contracts stating that they won't tell anyone.
So the Modern Mystery School was started by a man named Goodnison? I have no idea how to say this man's name. Apparently he was born in Iceland in the late 1950s, and he is a grade A grifter. Modern Mystery School has called itself the Harvard of Metaphysics and promises students a full transformation that will definitely change your life and that might even change the world. Modern Mystery School says its mission is to create peace on this planet by uplifting the hearts and minds of humanity. Again, does not sound that dissimilar to. It also promises students that it will give them the tools to work with energy and manifest the life that they truly want to live. There is a sacred assumption that this man has studied all of these things and has the keys to like mysticism and the mystery school, and he also claims to be part of a lineage that leads back to King Solomon in the Bible. They also, side note, for some reason spell King Solomon's name wrong.
It is scary that Miley could get wrapped up in this, especially because I do think that she's a very vulnerable person. In a recent interview with British Vogue, she was quoted saying, "I carried some guilt and shame around myself for years because of how much controversy and upset I really caused. Now I'm an adult, I realize how harshly I was judged. I was harshly judged as a child by adults, and now as an adult, I realize that I would never harshly judge a child." So she's obviously got some turmoil when it comes back to her past and being exploited by the industry. But now that her name is being tied up with the Modern Mystery School, people are learning the name of this school, which is kind of a bad thing for us, but a good thing for the school. And at the same time, they're investigating its past.
The cult leader, Goodnson, believes that he is a descendant of god Thor and practices the mission the group has been working on towards over 3,000 plus years. Some users have been upset there's not been much promotion on the album side from a Disney special, which some are allegedly blaming due to this cult.
While most people close to Miley have been quiet about this, her sister Brandy has spoken out. Miley's sister Brandy went on to discuss how some fans were disappointed after Miley's album release. And she also mentioned that her family was also disappointed. And I'm not entirely sure why her family's disappointed over her not touring or maybe promoting her album, but there's something more there. This was actually a quote pulled from July 12th, 2023, so pretty recently.
Miley's sister Brandy also went on a podcast and spoke a little bit about Miley's absence.
I'm not speaking for Miley, I'm not speaking for anybody, I'm not speaking for fans, but from what I gather, fans are a little frustrated that Miley's been a little quiet on social media and maybe not doing public performances. This is what the fans tell me, is that, where's Miley? We miss her, like we want to see her play, and she's not doing those things. And so people say crazy shit.
What's interesting about Miley's past is that she has been wrapped up in cult-like things before. She allegedly went on to befriend Wayne Coyne, a cult leader, after the Bangers tour. Wayne allegedly employed many like Kesha, Chris Martin, Erykah Badu, and more to sacrifice their blood and put it into vinyl records to activate their souls of the higher beings to pixie gods of Jupiter. Okay. That's a lot. Even as someone who I love a good theory, that's a lot.
Something similar to this also allegedly happened after the Bangers era. Miley kind of disappeared and started hanging out with this Wayne Coyne character. This man was 62 years old and very notorious for his drug use and his cult-like leadership. Back in 2012, he enlisted a bunch of celebrities to donate blood and add it into a vinyl record. The two also performed together back in May of 2014. And during this performance, there were accusations of drug use. There are also concerns that Miley is very easily manipulated and influenced by the partners that she's with. kind of picking up the hobbies and interests of whatever partner she's dating at the time.
I like how that TikToker acknowledges that Miley is easily impressionable, and that's what makes us all worried as fans. Vice News did an investigation into the Modern Mystery School, and some of these ex-members say that they were physically and financially exploited. Some of the warning signs of a cult is that the leaders will promote an unreasonable fear about the outside world, such as impending catastrophe, evil conspiracies, and persecutions. Former members often relate to the same stories of abuse and reflect a similar pattern of grievances. And maybe that's why Miley doesn't want to perform anymore, because she doesn't want to be out on the road and, I guess, susceptible to whatever these people are trying to put in her head. A lot of these groups like to have conventions, and at these events you can really see that they are all really on the same wavelength, because they're all being taught the same beliefs, and that's why a lot of these ex-members have very similar shared experiences.
What are you?
What am I? I am a goddess. I'm a spirit in flesh.
So, what are you?
What am I? I'm an infinite being. I'm a starseed, Anunnaki, light worker, black, white, Mexican, Chinese. I'm everything. I literally am every character in this video game we live in.
Awesome. Beautiful. Beautiful.
What scares me about programs like this is that they build their own world and like hierarchy and status and honors, and that's where you really get lost in things, because you truly believe in this process and that there are people who are, I guess, more enriched than you are or more powerful than you are in this organization, and you kind of like just become secondhand to them. You'll do anything for these people to reach that higher level, and it's a game you're playing that's really just created in this cult or this church or this organization, and doesn't really even matter in the real world, which I think like a lot of people who get lost in these things are people who are going through struggles, or they don't know their purpose in life. So then this school tries to present one to them, and really they lose themselves entirely.
In the mystery school, in order to enter the gates, in order to become an initiate, you have to be initiated by somebody who has been given the power and the authority to do so. In the Modern Mystery School, we call these people guides. And guides are 100% in service to humanity. What they are doing is they're energetically supporting, holding space, providing you with the opportunities, but it is solely up to you as an individual, as a human. That's why it's empowering, because they're not telling you what to do. They're just presenting to you information or presenting to you other life choices, options.
So there are some people who are probably lost, like financially, mentally, and they do find some healing here. But others describe their experience as bullying and manipulative, allege that they've been subjected to financial and sexual exploitation. Many would only talk anonymously because they're scared of being sued and because of NDAs. Others were equally concerned about physical or spiritual consequences. More than one former student warned me that I should be wary of psychic attacks in the course of my reporting. So they were trying to warn this reporter that they could like suffer just by trying to expose this all. And it seems like there are actually some classes where they would force their students to be intimate. Former students told me that intimacy was explicitly promoted in ritual master classes as a tool to be used in the school's fight against evil. They would say that sexual energy is powerful energy in terms of life force and our existence.
This organization has existed on this planet for thousands of years. We are now finally offering our services and our teachings to the general public after being hidden for so long. We're now available to help and empower. These are ancient methods that have been proven through time, and they have been proven to bring joy and abundance to life. We hope that you try these tools. The Mystery School is not a place of judgment. We're open to all people of all religions and all philosophies. We're here only to empower.
At the end of the day, we don't know what's going on because we're not there. And the students who have been there and survived it are almost too scared to give details because they're worried that the spiritual world will come and get them, which makes me like wonder what they've seen to make them believe this. But I want to hear what you guys think in the comments below. Do you think Miley Cyrus is at risk here? Do you think some of her recent Instagram posts have been like AI and kind of fake? It's giving like Britney Spears a little bit, but I want to hear what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll see you in a new video soon. Bye, guys.